there's 3 screws. You take those out and then get those out. The one on top is kind of hard to get to. And there's a bolt underneath. That's where the bolt goes. I already got it off. So you remove that bolt right there and then you can pull this off the steering. So I took a shop vac and I drained as much of the coolant out as possible so that it doesn't drip on any wiring down here. And now I have to disconnect all these wires because the hoses, the power steering hoses, have to be able to get around all these hoses. Gotta disconnect everything on the engine and then I'll be able to get these hoses out. Get it on right here. One of these T sockets, you can take the sensor off. It helps out a lot. Take the sensor off. You first take the sensor off with this T handle, and then all you gotta do is loosen that sensor just a little, and it'll unscrew by itself. I had to take the oxygen sensor off too, so now I got the lines disconnected on the power steering, and I was able to pull them up right to here. So the thing is, now you gotta just, all these wires are disconnected, and so they can pass by all these different wires, and then once you get them out, you should be able to pull this whole thing out through the back. And you reach down and you grab the ends and you pull them up and you get them right here, and then you should be able to just pull these cables right out. Just be able to just pull them right out. Hopefully they don't get caught on anything. I'm taking them out because I got a bad leak, and I'm not sure if the hoses are leaking. These are brand new hoses, but I'm taking them out anyways, just to make sure. The chain going down to the transmission support mount. Got one going down to that mount, and then another one going down to that mount. So basically just I wrapped a chain around the mount. Now there is some plastic on some of these mounts. This mount in the back has like some plastic. Just wrapped it around the top of the mount. Now I can lower the subframe. These are the bolts. There's only 2 bolts for the steering. Now the exhaust is still on, so hopefully I can do it without taking the exhaust off. But look at it, it's leaking everywhere. Alright, so I got jacks under of the subframe, and these 2 bolts I'm taking out completely, where the steering is, because those are the ones I'm going to be lowering down. So I got a jack under this side and I got a jack under the other side, and once I get these bolts out, then I'll just start lowering the jacks down. These are the only bolts I'm taking out. All the other ones I just loosened, lowering one at each side a little by little. All right. the steering. So now it's completely free. So all I got to do now is try to pull it out of here without wrecking any wiring or anything. All right. So I gotta take off this shock support, I guess you call it. Got it. It's coming right out. There's what's left of the heat shield. All right. I'm gonna clean this thing out really good, and maybe that's the problem. Because I got to put this on the new one. All right, so the check valve was in like this, so that's right, pretty much. So you can see the check valve, and it's like that little piece, and it pushes way down. So I was thinking maybe this thing got blocked up or something, but it doesn't seem like, yeah, it doesn't really seem like it could get blocked up really. That spring seems to be working, so that's the check valve. This is that valve. I'm gonna take this apart and see what's in it. I think, if I can get it apart. Oh no, it doesn't want to turn. It only goes that far. Maybe it's some kind of adjustment. It goes right in here. It just sits in there. There, it goes down like that. Put that on like that. And I got those I gotta put on. Alright, so I got that one on with the seal. Got that seal on, let's put that in. So I picked this up from the dealer. This is the steering rack. That 3N603, I believe that's the check valve. This port right here is where the So here's the damage on the rack that I bought. Now I was thinking that I did that when I was hammering out the bolt. I was thinking I might have caused this damage. I didn't really notice it before. So maybe it's possible that it was like that already. I'm not sure though. But yeah, I didn't want to take a chance. So I didn't want to take a chance on it. That's why I bought a new one. Thought maybe it might start leaking. There's no damage anywhere else. That bad anyway. Is there any damage there? There's not really any damage. on this side, there's no damage on that side either. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if hammering out the bolt caused that or not. But definitely, if anything, it would probably leak. It comes with the O-rings. This is what the check valve looks like when the retainer is installed in there. The steering rack in. The exhaust pipe is right there, and it's that heat shield is supposed to protect the rack and the hoses. Called Former Shield. So I ordered this Former Shield off Amazon, and there's supposed to be a heat shield. There's supposed to be a heat shield on there to protect the steering rack. So this is what the old heat shield, what's left of it, and it's basically like a aluminum metal with like a fiberglass inside. It's like a fiberglass with aluminum. Now I looked at that diagram that I got from the dealer, and it actually shows this part number on there. This is actually an original heat shield. So this is the metal, aluminum. It's got like this underneath. This stuff, it gets into your hands. It's like fiberglass or whatever. So you have to use gloves. It's very bad. I think I'll probably cut it in half and then sandwich them together so I have metal on both sides. I'll try to use to build another heat shield. I don't know if this is the original size either, so I can make it this exact size. I can make it this exact size. Maybe that's a better idea. So I'm going to try to get a visual of how close it is to the exhaust. This will show you how close this manifold is to the so that's why that heat shield is probably necessary. There we go. I don't know if you can see how close that exhaust pipe is. Now this is with the subframe is lowered somewhat, so it's a lot closer than even what it looks like right there. This has like a grommet on one end, and then I'm assuming it was like mounted like that. So this is a lot longer piece. I don't know if I'll probably cut it down a little. So these clips right here, they will clip into the subframe, and then this goes under the steering rack towards the exhaust. Kind of looks like the original dealer item, except for these bolts. I couldn't find any rivets that would work on this. So basically I just gotta feed it in like this now. We're gonna try to get it under the rack. I should have done this before I put the rack in, but the package hadn't come yet, and I just figured, well, might as well. But this is the idea. So basically these holes right here go under in those two grommets. Sort of got it in there. You can see it's like sitting. It's kind of sitting under the rack right there. It's hard to see. So now I got to do is just line up those grommet pinions. All I got to do is push it through. There we go. And then it goes under the rack, and then it goes up. And there it is right there. There's definitely it could possibly be a hole right there. Fairly new hose too. I replaced it at the same time that I replaced the other one. The other one seems all right because it had a, one thing, I bought this hose and it didn't come, even though it said in the picture that it's supposed to come with a protective sleeve like this one. I went with it anyways, but this is the high pressure side. It's definitely got a gouge in it. That's probably was leaking right there. I got a new one now. This is the new one. I'm gonna be taking it off the old one off, and then trying to get that new one on. All right, so the heat shield was about, I'd say 8 inches, probably 7.5 inches by 8 inches. 7.5 by 8 inches. And look what I found in the instructions for the warning about the heat shield. All I got to do is put the hoses in. And I'm thinking that it might be easier to connect the hoses while the subframe is down. These are the two hoses. Alright, so I'm going to just try to do one at a time. I'm just going to do them one at a time. It's amazing whoever designed this thing. There we go. Okay, just gotta. There's one. I guess they go on the inside of the heat shield. That would make the most sense, wouldn't it? I just put some marks on the hose so I know that this is the high pressure side. So when I get down there, I don't mix them up. They are a little bit different. These loops that they put in them, they're a little bit different on each hose, but I'm not going to take a chance. I'm just put some marks on it. You can twist the cable, and then you'll get to the point where you can actually see where that green that green plug is, well, that's the low, the return line. And I got the connector pretty much lined up. This is the connector right there, and it's basically pretty much lined up with the green. So I left the plugs in there just because, in case I don't want any dirt or anything to get in there. Let's take that cap out of there. The plugs are hard to get out. Loosen them up before you might have a lot of trouble getting them off. So I got this one lined up now. The pressure one. I got that one lined up. You just reach back there and pull it, and then it gets caught on stuff back there. See that hose is already messed up in the back. I don't know. For some reason it keeps like wanting to fall behind the. There we go. All right. It wants the hose wants to fall behind the subframe. Wants to fall behind the subframe. Let's see if we can see over here. It's falling behind down there. When I lift the subframe back up, it's gonna get smushed. All right. So I got a piece of string that I attached to the line. Now it wants to go behind the subframe. You can see the line right there. Doesn't get damaged, but it's definitely going behind the rack. That line right there. All right, so I got it started. Just use it. This one's a lot easier to turn. A lot easier. I lifted it up. I lifted up the hose, and now it's on top of the rack. It took a little bit of force. I don't know if you can see. I got a little piece of cardboard protecting but at least it's not behind. It's not behind there. And now I'm going to raise the subframe. Behind where the lines go, and I just basically raising up the subframe now. Looks like I'm already up. Look at that. Am I up? Let's see. Yeah. Going in? Yeah. Subframe bolts are 18 millimeter. 18. I'm on the other side now. Millimeter. Get these in. I got to tighten up all four of them. 55 to 75. So the engine never separated from this part of the subframe. I think my chain was too loose. Normally, like, you leave these bolts, these two bolts I believe I left in the last time, and just loosen this top one. It's possible you can just leave the whole engine on the subframe when you lower it down. I did it my way because it's better. It's not going to be you know, in case of jack slips or something, the whole engine isn't going to like fall out of the car. So I think these are 60 foot-pounds, these right here. 60 to... You can see how the hoses are routed. There's a little bracket that the hoses go into. You have to take this off too to get the lines. This has to come off. I'm putting this back on right now. I got that bracket on right there. You got the bracket on. For some reason this hose right here is never lined up. You always have to connect the low pressure line first, and don't attach that bracket to the lines until after you get these hooked up, otherwise it makes it way more difficult. So I'm adding the coolant in now, and I already added the coolant into the radiator, but there's a, what is it, a coolant sensor? And if you take that coolant sensor off, you can get more coolant in the engine. If you just add it in the radiator, it doesn't go all the way to the back of the engine. So here's a better shot of the steering. There's two boots on here. One boot actually goes around the steering. It actually goes all the way around it. All right, so I got the bolt in now. Just gotta torque it down. There's the steering right there. It works. You can pull that boot right on from out here. All right, so now I got the inner boot installed. All right, so basically just got to put the, I finally got this boot. Felt like there's like a plastic right here, so for some reason it didn't want to go on. I just have to put these screws in. The repair manual says to use Type F transmission fluid. I poured it in there and it's not going down. I guess I have to start the engine and try to get it to... So I'm going to turn the wheel side to side, and it said turn the wheel but don't go all the way to the stops. So just turn the wheel back and forth, see if it goes down at all. No, it didn't do anything. So I guess I got to start it up. So I just started it up and it sucked in the fluid. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just keep adding and then starting the engine and I started it, let it run for like 3 or 4 seconds, and then I shut it off. Just keep doing this until it takes all the fluid. I filled it up and it's definitely aerated. All right, so I did it again and added some fluid, and so far it's only taken 1 quart. This is the old rack. This is the old rack. Here's the other side. So the steering wheel now is completely straight. So when I measure from both sides, I'll know, like, if the steering wheel was you know 360 degrees off, I would have to turn it back the other way to line it. So the steering should be in the center. Actually, it's gonna be right. Maybe one more. Kind of like right there. That looks like it. I bought these off Temu, and these will really fine-tune your alignment. So now these can't move. These are pretty much set. So all I got to do now is get them on the car, and then once I put them in there, I can adjust from back here. I can adjust which way I want the wheels to go. These normally these go up on the bolts, but it doesn't allow enough clearance underneath the car, so I just got them mounted on the disc, the rotor. I got them mounted on the rotor. The Temu alignment tool on, and if you look on this side, it says 62 and a half, and on this side it says 61. Let's see, we got so the threads are right here. Put that there, and then it lines up pretty much right there. The other side should be the same. Right there. So if the threads are even and the tape measure are even, you should be pretty close to in the middle. The only thing that might be off is the steering wheel. You know that your wheels are parallel to each other. It's basically 62 inches. That's 62 on both sides. Okay, I got everything back together. I'm going to take it for a test drive. So it works. It works perfectly. That thing, it literally only took a 1 quart of fluid, and it's working perfect. Look at that. This car never could steer just sitting. It had to be moving, so it definitely works. Look at that. Yep, it works. Yeah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Buy a rack, don't try to rebuild it. Just notice a little smoke coming from under the hood. Steering is working perfectly. Hasn't made any like noise, any power steering squeal or anything like that. It's completely. I just started the car and added like 3 times, and that was it, and it was working. Let's go see what that smoke is coming from. I was filling it up. When the exhaust manifold is right near there, so the steering's fixed. Like a little bit of fluid came out the top. Probably had it overfilled a little. I just remembered that the level of the fluid is supposed to be quite a ways down, and I had it up too high. Steering rack apart. I want to see the one I rebuilt. I want to see the O-rings and stuff in there. See what it looks like. Okay, I'm getting the control valve out right now. Let's see what it looks like. So I just noticed one of the O-rings is broken. One of the O-rings is broken. But look at that. One of the O-rings is broken.